Mastering ISO 20000. ISO 20000 success hinges on 5 key elements working in perfect harmony. What are the fundamental elements that comprise an ISO 20000 IT service management system, and how do these components interact with one another to achieve operational excellence? An ISO 20000 IT service management (ITSM) system is comprised of several fundamental elements that work together to achieve operational excellence. These elements are critical components that ensure the delivery of high-quality IT services that meet the needs of customers and stakeholders. Document Management System. A document management system is a critical component of an ISO 20000 ISM system. It provides a centralized repository for storing, managing, and controlling all ISM-related documentation, including policies, procedures, and work instructions. This ensures that all stakeholders have access to accurate and up-to-date information, reducing the risk of errors and misconceptions. Service Portfolio Management. The Service Portfolio Management component is responsible for managing the entire life cycle of IT services, from service design to service retirement. It ensures that IT services are aligned with business objectives, and that they meet customer and stakeholder requirements. This component involves the creation and maintenance of a service portfolio that outlines all IT services, their associated service level agreements, SLAs, and key performance indicators, KPIs. Service level management. The service level management component is responsible for negotiating and agreeing on SLAs with customers and stakeholders. It ensures that IT services meet agreed upon service levels, and that service level breaches are identified and addressed promptly. This component involves the development of service level agreements, service level reporting, and service improvement initiatives. Capacity Management. Capacity management is responsible for ensuring that IT services have sufficient capacity to meet current and future business needs. It involves the management of IT resources, such as hardware, software, and network infrastructure, to ensure that they are utilized efficiently and effectively. This component also involves capacity planning, which identifies areas where capacity may need to be increased or decreased. Availability Management. Availability management is responsible for ensuring that IT services are available when needed, and that service disruptions are minimized. It involves the development of availability plans, which outline strategies for achieving high service availability. This component also involves the management of IT resources, such as backup and recovery systems, to ensure that they are utilized effectively. IT Service Continuity Management. IT Service Continuity Management is responsible for ensuring that IT services can recover quickly in the event of a disaster or major service disruption. It involves the development of business continuity plans, which outline strategies for recovering IT services in the event of a disaster. This component also involves the management of IT resources, such as backup and recovery systems, to ensure that they are utilized effectively. Information Security Management. Information Security Management is responsible for ensuring that IT services are secure and that customer and stakeholder data is protected. It involves the development of information security policies, procedures, and controls, which outline strategies for managing information security risks. This component also involves the management of IT resources, such as firewalls and intrusion detection systems, to ensure that they are utilized effectively. Supplier Management. Supplier management is responsible for managing relationships with external suppliers, such as IT service providers and vendors. It involves the development of supplier agreements, which outline the terms and conditions of the relationship. This component also involves the management of supplier performance, which ensures that suppliers meet agreed upon service levels. Incident Management. Incident management is responsible for restoring normal IT service operation as quickly as possible following a service disruption. It involves the development of incident management procedures, which outline strategies for identifying, reporting, and resolving incidents. This component also involves the management of incident resolution teams, which are responsible for resolving incidents. Problem management. Problem management is responsible for identifying and resolving the root cause of incidents. It involves the development of problem management procedures, which outline strategies for identifying, analyzing, and resolving problems. This component also involves the management of problem resolution teams, which are responsible for resolving problems. Change management. Change management is responsible for ensuring that changes to IT services are properly assessed, planned, and implemented. It involves the development of change management procedures, which outline strategies for managing changes to IT services. This component also involves the management of change advisory boards, which are responsible for reviewing and approving changes. Release and deployment management. Release and deployment management is responsible for planning, building, testing, and deploying releases into production. It involves the development of release and deployment management procedures, which outline strategies for managing releases and deployments. This component also involves the management of release and deployment teams, which are responsible for planning, building, testing, and deploying releases. Service reporting. Service reporting is responsible for providing stakeholders with accurate and timely reports on IT service performance. It involves the development of service reports, which outline IT service performance metrics, such as availability, capacity, and incident resolution rates. Continual service improvement. Continual service improvement is responsible for identifying and implementing improvements to IT services. It involves the development of service improvement initiatives, which outline strategies for improving IT services. This component also involves the management of service improvement teams, which are responsible for identifying and implementing improvements. These fundamental elements of an ISO 20000 ISM system interact with one another to achieve operational excellence in the following ways. The document management system provides a centralized repository for storing and managing ISM-related documentation, which is used by all components to ensure consistency and accuracy. The service portfolio management component provides a comprehensive view of all IT services, which is used by other components, such as service level management and capacity management, to ensure that IT services meet customer and stakeholder requirements. The service level management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure IT service performance and identify areas for improvement. The capacity management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure IT service capacity and identify areas for improvement. The availability management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure IT service availability and identify areas for improvement. The IT service continuity management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure IT service continuity and identify areas for improvement. The information security management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure IT service security and identify areas for improvement. The supplier management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure supplier performance and identify areas for improvement. The incident management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure incident resolution rates and identify areas for improvement. The problem management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure problem resolution rates and identify areas for improvement. The change management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure the impact of changes on IT services and identify areas for improvement. The release and deployment management component uses data from the service reporting component to measure the success of releases and deployments and identify areas for improvement. The continual service improvement component uses data from the service reporting component to identify areas for improvement and implement service improvement initiatives. In summary, the fundamental elements of an ISO 20000 ISM system work together to achieve operational excellence by ensuring that IT services meet customer and stakeholder requirements, are secure, and are continuously improved.